Alright, so I made a video about how sucky it is to put batteries in series and suggested if you needed more than 4-hour runtime of one large battery, maybe use 2 large batteries in parallel so that you could charge them both at the same time, which is more efficient if you've got more than 200 units of power coming in. And then select the batteries as they die, one then after the other. And how do you do that? Alright, so the question is, how in the world do you do that? Well, here's how in the world you do it. Also, everybody keeps asking me to show my work here, how this is done, and fine. I'm still semi-lazy, so part of it's all set up here, but I'll do some of the wiring for you because I care. Alright, so I still have all this power coming in here, 360 units at the moment. This would be a typical layout of a single string usage, so this is going to be 2 batteries to back up 1 string. In this case, I'm just running 2 lights. I don't care. You can run up to 100 units off this string. I'm tapping off, you know what, just to emulate that, I'll tap off 100 here. So you can see I'm tapping off 100 units. This is my live power. I'm running it through this OR switch and then onto the lights. I need the OR switch because I need a place to plug in the batteries so the batteries can take over when the live power gets too low. Alright, so power always goes out the branch first. So if this branch, if the total power drops below 100, the branch gets the 100 and no more power comes out of here. That will cause this branch and everything past it to turn off. So right now I'm using the excess power. We'll call this the excess power. This is my selectable load or threshold. This is my excess power. My excess power goes into this branch. Most of it, I'm taking off 5 units to go to this splitter, and I'm letting the rest of it go into this splitter, and that means 130 per output. These are to charge my batteries, so I'll hook those up now. Alright, so now I'm charging both my batteries. As long as I got 100 units or more, they charge at their full maximum 80% efficiency. So we're golden. We're putting over 100 into each of them. They're both charging as fast as they possibly can. What's this branch and splitter for? Well, this is to indicate when the input load has run out of power and I need to turn the batteries on. Why do I need a splitter? Because this gets complicated. Normally I would just use one of these. If I had a single battery, I'd use one of these to come over to this branch, or sorry, this blocker. And you always run your batteries into a blocker so that you can turn them off, turn their load off. And that tap, that branch would tell this blocker to be off so that the battery doesn't run until you run out of power. If you run out of input power, then that blocker turns on and it lets the power through, which is exactly what we want to happen if the sun goes down and the windmills stop turning. So you would take its load and put it into one side of this OR switch, and then this other battery we're going to put into this other blocker, and we're going to put it into the other side of the OR switch, and then we're going to run this into the other side of this OR switch. So this is either going to pick the live power or it's going to pick the battery power. It's got both white right now. It'll pick the best. So if the input power is gone, this blocker opens up, lets the battery power through, and it selects through here the better of the 2 batteries, here the better of the 2 power sources, which normally would be battery if we don't have any input power. Now we also have to tap a branch off of this battery so that we know when it goes dead. But I'm going to run its branch into an OR switch along with another half of this splitter from the main power, because if there's main power or if there's battery power from battery 1, we want this blocker to be off. So that's what this switch is doing. So now, there, I showed my work. You still confused? Good. So now if I turn off the main power, oops, so there's no more power coming in, the loss of that power through this splitter turns off half that OR switch, but there's still power coming from this battery. We turned on this battery by losing power, turned on the battery. So that tells this battery to still be off. But let's say we run out of power on this battery. Boom. that causes no power to be going through this OR switch, meaning this blocker opens up, and now this battery is coming in through this OR switch and through the master OR switch over to the lights. And that right there is how you do parallel selectable batteries that you can efficiently charge at the same time.